A quick insight from WellView 365, powered by freshnews.ai. Leaders now treat content automation as core infrastructure to keep waiting room messaging current while protecting clinical time. Executive summary. Operations leaders are now treating automated waiting room content systems as core infrastructure, not a nice-to-have add-on. This shift is happening as budget cycles and screen refresh projects force teams to pick a durable model to replace static posters with dynamic digital signage. For sales, the key is to qualify on how they plan to keep content current and who owns that process, not just on hardware spend. Pipelines that focus on content automation for healthcare teams, governance, and cross-site consistency will progress faster than generic signage pitches. Today's signal. Facilities and patient engagement teams are meeting with IT to review which waiting rooms are getting new screens and who will keep the messaging up to date over the next 3 years. In these meetings, they're deciding whether to keep printing and swapping posters or replace static posters with dynamic digital signage that runs on content automation for healthcare teams. Groups that treat this as core infrastructure are defining long-term ownership, budget, and refresh rules now. Why it matters. Here are 4 takeaways. First, deals tied to screen refresh projects now hinge on the content automation plan, not just display pricing. Second, buying groups are expanding to include patient engagement and communications, changing who you must multi-thread with. Third, cycles are lengthening while teams align on governance, so unaddressed content ownership questions can stall late-stage opportunities. Fourth, vendors positioned as core infrastructure for keeping patient messaging current are being pulled into multi-site standardization decisions. How it works in practice. This shows up when a system is planning a waiting room refresh and asks for quotes on new screens and media players. IT or facilities leads the hardware discussion, then loops in patient engagement and marketing to ask how they will keep content current on most waiting room screen. The process bogs down when no one owns updating messages, chasing approvals, or removing outdated posters and slides. Teams then look for a single content automation layer that can schedule, localize, and retire waiting room messaging without manual rework. When this is in place, they bake it into standards, assign owners, and fund it as part of modern healthcare facilities and smart infrastructure, not a side project. One practical adjustment. In most active opportunity touching waiting room displays, add one discovery step this week to confirm who approves patient-facing content today, how often it changes, and what makes updates hard. What to do next? Here are 4 takeaways. First, prioritize accounts with upcoming screen refresh or construction projects and confirm waiting room scope. Second, update qualification to include content ownership, approval cadence, and current poster replacement workflows. Third, build a short outreach sequence for patient engagement and communications leaders focused on reducing manual poster and slide updates. Fourth, reframe late-stage proposals to show how content automation becomes part of core infrastructure, not an add-on to display hardware.